Hi friends, Tyrelle Audain back with another video. First of all, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe for more cricketing content and other analysts. So folks, as you all know, it's almost 3 days since the 2023 Ashes series came to a dramatic conclusion, and I gotta admit this has to be the best Ashes series I've seen since the 2019 edition, and also the famous series back in 05. Now, before I go any further, there's been a lot of cricket that's been happening all over the place, from the Ashes, which just concluded in England, to West Indies India series, which I find was a waste of bullshit time, and now the 100 in the England, which I don't freaking care about. But I want to talk about the Ashes and why it was a blockbuster series. Let me tell you all something. If you guys did not watch the Ashes series, you all missed the seriousness of Test cricket and why it's still alive. Now, I have to admit, this Ashes series and the 2019 Ashes series 4 years back are both tied as the second best Ashes series I've ever seen. At the top, obviously, is the famous 2005 series in which England won back the Ashes after almost 20 years. That was under the Michael Vaughan-led captaincy at that time, and that series England had came back from being 1-0 down to win the Ashes 2-1. Now, why this Ashes series was so much blockbustered, it is due to one, Australia's constant dominance over England in past Ashes series and now, and also the arrival of baseball, which has made most of the test matches more entertaining rather than boring. But one of the reasons why this Ashes series was more dramatic, unlike previous Ashes series, was how England had to memorably come back after being 2 matches down after the first 2 tests. They won up in Headingley, which is their hunting ground. They had the opportunity to draw in Manchester, but due to inclement weather, the match ended a draw, effectively losing England's chances of pulling off what has to be the greatest ever comeback in the history of Ashes cricket. Then, the last test match that finished about 2 or 3 days back was Stuart Broad's swan song from professional cricket, and I must say, he went out it with a bang. Broad took the final 2 wickets of the Ashes match and his professional career. And fun fact, in that same test match too, he finished his test match batting career with a 6. Similar thing with the bowling. His last ever bowling Ashes wicket, he took a wicket and effectively won the match for the Poms, making sure that the series ended in a 2-all draw. Now, the player of the Ashes series, I believe, went to Chris Wokes, when it should have gone to, I think, either Joe Root or Johnny Bairstow. But on the Australian side, surprisingly, Mitchell Starc was adjudged Australia's player of the series, and in my view, Usman Khawaja should have gotten Australia's player of the Ashes series because he was the most consistent batter of all. So moving away from all the Ashes to the waste nonsense that I had to see yesterday, which is the decider of the India-West Indies series at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy in Tarouba, San Fernando, South Trinidad. And it was the same old damn story about the Men in Blue. You may recall Saturday, they had leveled the 3-match series with a comprehensive 6-wicket victory over the Men in Blue at Kensington Oval, Bridgetown, Barbados, thanks to brilliant bowling by Romario Shepherd and Gudakish Moti, and to top it off by 2 wonderful knocks, one from Captain Shea Hope and secondly Kisi Kati. Now, in yesterday's match, it was the same old bullshit crap. They were outplayed in all three departments. Now, leading up to the decider, on the Indian side of things that I want to talk about, there has been a lot of talk on social media over Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli skipping the last two matches to give the youngsters others opportunities, when the two of them, after the test series, should have flown back home to India to prepare for the Asia Cup, or should have played in the ongoing Doha Trophy List A matches. And for me, let me just say this: why it is India are experimenting with the youngsters now, just about 2 months before cricket's biggest showpiece in the history of 50 over cricket. Why it is you would have the youngsters play over the senior pros, I do not know. I know that they are experimenting because West Indies is not in the World Cup, but come on, at the same time, Virat and Rohit should be getting game time rather than staying on the bench and waiting for Asia Cup to come and happen. Come now, man, selectors. Where's the sense in all of this? Now, I have no problems with Hardik Pandya captaining India, but let me say this: Pandya's captaincy in the third ODI was top notch. He rotated his bowlers and did all the right things. He also contributed with the bat despite getting a slow start, and also coincidentally, in the third ODI which finished yesterday, 4 of the Indian batters got past 50, which we will get to in a momento. The whole white ball leg, in my view, Pandya should have been captain. Rohit and Virat should have flown back after the second test in Trinidad rather than wasting their time and breath on the bench looking at the youngsters when they should have been preparing for Asia Cup by playing in the Doha Trophy. Now, on the other side of the story, you are hearing that the management are attempting to do a carbon copy of what happened in 2007 World Cup. I do not see a carbon copy happening at all. But even though there was no Rohit, no Virat, ningún problema para el equipo de la India, which translates into no Rohit, no Virat, no problems for Team India. And I have to admit, the third ODI in Trinidad was played on a dry flat deck at the Brian Lara Academy, and India posted its highest ever total in the history of ODIs against West Indies, 351 for 5 from 50 overs. And I mentioned earlier, 4 of their batters got past 50: Ishan Kishan, Shubman Gill, Sanju Samson, and standing captain Hardik Pandya. Now, I have to say something about Sanju Samson, because the Indian selectors and the management have a habit of wasting his talent. This guy needs more game time leading into the Asia Cup, and possibly a number 4 pick in the World Cup, because Surya Kumar Yadav has struggled in the series, and so has a few more batters as well. But with all the talk about Shreyas Iyer and KL Rahul coming back into the team, this opportunity that Sanju Samson had in Trinidad, he iced it to perfection, and he should be given a longer run inside of the Indian team. He has done quite well in domestic cricket, so as in the IPL as well. And coming to the West Indies side of things, Gudakesh Moti was very economical. He took 1 for 38 from 10 overs with his left arm off breaks, and Romario Shepherd was the pick of the bowlers despite going at expensive figures for 7.30 runs per over. He finished with 2 wickets for 73, and there was also wickets each for Alzadi Joseph and Yannick Correa. And coming to West Indies, sorry looking batting card, it was total atrociousness, and that was one of the reasons why I turned off the TV when it was around 4-5 down. When I came back on the outside, I saw them in the tail. But I want to talk about that sorry looking batting card. Not one West Indian batter, minus Alec Athanaze, who was the second top scorer on the day for the men in maroon with 32 runs. He failed, if I beg your pardon, the rest of the batting order from the top order to the middle order minus Athanaze failed to get past double digits, and that includes Captain Shea Hope, who only made 5, Kisi Kati 6, and those were the two batters that got West Indies home in the last game and played sensible according to plan when they were in all sorts of trouble. And Shemron Hegmaier, of all people, I don't know why it is the selectors decided to bring him back. He was a total waste of time. This guy has no talent, no motivation. He only wants to show the talent in the franchise cricketing scene, but when it comes to international cricket, you're failing all the time. It's time West Indies move past Hegmaier, Russell, Narain, and this other one. Their time has come and gone. And for me, Hegmaier was absolutely S throughout the 3 games. And with due respect, I rather bench. If I was the chief selector, I would have immediately dropped him and not give him a long run of game time, because he has the tendency of showing off most of the times, and this is what I do not like about cricketers when they show off. Just like the likes of Virat Kohli and a few of the other guys who have a habit of showing off, Hegmaier is one who does go over the bar, unlike Virat Kohli, because Virat does always settle himself down despite showing off and does be scoring big runs in almost every single game, minus this series, which he hardly got an opportunity to bat nor game time too. But I'm not surprised by how West Indies' lower order and the tail enders delayed the inevitable. I'm talking about that 9th wicket partnership of 50 runs in 47 balls between Azari Joseph and Godakish Modi, who, by the way, was surprisingly West Indies' top scorer with an undefeated 39, while Joseph was the 3rd leading run scorer on the day for the men in maroon, which, not surprisingly, was the 3rd best score by a West Indian batter on the day. Mukesh Kumar, India's new sensation Mukesh Kumar, he started off riot act for India, taking 3 top order wickets for 30 runs in his spell, and Shadu Thakur picked up his career best figures of 4 wickets for 37. Kuldeep Yadav, who I find should be one of India's main spinners going into the 2023 World Cup and the Asia Cup, which starts at the end of this month into early September. He, in my view, was the star of the show throughout the series. He took 8 wickets, but in this game, he had figures of 2 for 25 in 8 overs. And there was 1 wicket for Jadiv Unakad, who was playing his first ODI for India after 10 years. In the end, India posted 351 for 5 from 50 overs. In response, West Indies were shut out for 151, losing by a massive margin of 200 runs. In the end, India taking the series 2 matches to 1. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up tonight's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want more content like this, please subscribe to my channel, and let's get the subscribers up and rolling. So until we meet again, folks, stay safe, stay well, stay hydrated, because it's extremely hot out there these days, and only positive vibes all the way. Thank you.